Hi there and welcome to Open Mic. We're coming to you from Vijay Chowk and just nearby is India Gate, where is burning the Amar Jawan Jyoti, the memorial to the unknown soldier. Now it is voting time, it's election time, but the person who's forgotten in election time is the soldier. Serving in faraway places in India, guarding our borders, he is disenfranchised. He cannot vote simply because the machinery of polling cannot reach him. But now, thanks to a landmark petition by Change.org, which collected 77,000 signatures, the Supreme Court has ordered that the Election Commission make it possible for soldiers to vote. Joining us on this edition of Open Mic are veterans of the armed forces who've been campaigning long and hard for the enfranchisement of soldiers, to stop the disenfranchisement of soldiers and our armed personnel. And MP and activist and politician Rajiv Chandrasekhar also joining us. You have spearheaded this particular campaign and you've gone on to Change.org and actually led this campaign. Let me kick it off with you. You know, for the first time, a member of parliament has actually used the social media to collect these signatures and create this pressure on the Election Commission through Change.org. Tell us a little bit about how you did that.
No, I think it's become quite obvious that unless you mobilize public opinion behind a cause, it becomes very difficult to get these institutions of government that have been sleeping for so long to wake up. Now, the traditional way of doing that is to go out and meet people and collect signatures. But one of the amazing things about social media is that we could do this 77,000 people signing up almost in 2 weeks.
Right.
And it just shows you the power of an idea and how quickly the social media gets people connected to the power of the idea.
It's a power of an idea, and an idea whose time has come, because I have veteran Brigadier Mahalingam, who we know very well, other veterans of the armed forces, and you guys have never, Commander Hitendra Singh, you guys have never voted, right?
No,
you guys have never voted.
We were at sea. We were sailing. We never got. It's ultimately a postal ballot came, which when you landed up ashore, the voting was all over. You never got a chance to vote. You were at sea with the.
So you and Brigadier Mahalingam,
Absolutely
you never
no.
voted
I got the postal ballots 4 times, but out of which 2 reached after the results were announced, and 2 were there, and once I voted, and that reached that was not counted when the whole thing was.
They've never voted. These armed forces veterans have never ever voted. You've never voted. Have you voted?
No, never voted.
You've never voted. After retirement,
Joined
you voted.
NDA at 16 and a half, and now 69. In service 58. I retired. Major General. I have not voted.
You've not voted, and nor have you. Never voted. You've never ever voted. What a shocking thing that you guys really have never cast your vote.
No, I just voted about 4 months back, first time when the daily elections took place, and I must share with you that is the day when I first realized what a proud moment it is for a citizen to vote. And that is the time I realized that the soldier who's standing there at the border, he deserves to experience this pride moment. Yes.
And you welcome this ruling, sir, because do you feel that at long last the soldier is being enfranchised?
Sagarika, in a normal game, there are 2 players. In election time, it's a multi-cornered contest. The election process is convoluted to the extent that there are doubts being raised on our integrity. Whether we will vote en masse for X, Y or Z. We have no brains.
Right.
Why should I vote en masse? I'll vote for the person I think is the best.
What about logistically though? Is it going to be possible to take the entire polling procedure up to Siachen, to take ballots and the entire procedure, the systems up to the Siachen glacier and get people to vote?
If the Election Commission proudly says that they take a polling booth to the Gir forest for one voter, look, it's always been about the will. The issue has never been the logistical problem. It's the lack of a desire to solve that. And that's partly because the armed forces, because of the nature of its discipline, never go out there and create dharnas, and we don't, these gentlemen are dignified people who never protest. And because you don't protest, unfortunately our democracy is one where if you don't make a noise...
But isn't that a tradition we mustn't lose?
No, so
the disciplined armed forces who are not politicized,
You asked a question that did you ever vote? But I wish you'd have asked, why did you not vote?
Right.
I would have given you an answer.
Right.
The government of India, first time, 52 elections, while the numerations were done for the whole country, the defense services were not numerated. Right? And they asked us to postal ballot, which never reached 10 days. 56 they did the amendment, 65 they made the amendment, 57 election. Thereafter, there was one landmark judgment of 71 of the Supreme Court, which said that you can register at the place of posting, right? But it never saw the light of the day. The ECs, as of the government, never made it sure. It is not that we didn't want to vote. It's because.
But let me ask you the question. Let me ask you the maybe devil's advocate.
Yes.
Now, supposing you are a soldier posted in, say, Kashmir, or in an insurgency hit place like Nagaland, or in other insurgent spots like the Northeast, and you want to vote there. But do you identify with the concerns of Kashmir or Nagaland? What ties you with the voters over there?
Yes, why not? I'm a human
But
being.
that's not your home.
No,
But that's not your home.
I have no home.
But you
My
don't
home
belong
is.
there.
What is my home?
You don't belong there. But you don't.
I joined Khadakwasla in June
But you don't
57.
belong to
The
Nagaland.
sergeant major told me, forget your brother, mother, sister. There's no brother. You are an Indian first and always.
No, but how will you decide on a candidate
Every
in
place
Kashmir?
in your country is your place. You belong there.
But how will you?
I am good enough to stay in that place, protect the people, provide security, be prepared to risk my life. But I am not good
Am I
enough.
a bad
to
human
vote.
being? Why? I am a better human being than any other
But do you
Indian
have
who
any
can vote.
identification with the candidates who will
Why
stand over
not?
there?
Why not? We belong to India. We don't belong
But
to
the EC,
let me ask you. Let me. No, no. Forget the EC
that
argument.
This will distort the popular
No.
will.
Forget the EC argument. I want to just say two things. One is the right to vote is a fundamental right, and there is no election commission bureaucrat who can come in the way of that. That's point number one.
That's
Number
absolutely
one.
true.
Number two, if you and I have no fetters posed on us on where we can go register as a voter, if you move CNN IBN to Bangalore, you can register as an ordinary voter there. So why is an armed forces person who is transferred to Bangalore or to Siachen or to Nagaland or to Kashmir not entitled to vote there? The same rules that apply to civilians must apply to the armed forces. Nobody's asking for anything special here. If this gentleman or a software engineer is transferred and posted in Nagaland, he will register and vote
but
there.
the argument could be made that the armed forces are there as representatives of the Indian state.
Arguments can be
As
made.
representatives of the Indian state.
No. I just want to.
Whereas a citizen is there simply as a citizen, but the army
Sorry, I am
officer is
first the
there
citizen.
as a-
I am
as a
first the citizen of the
as a
country.
representation
Sorry,
of the
Sagrika.
state.
I am first the citizen of the country,
Okay.
and then I am a soldier protecting the integrity of the nation.
Okay, but let me
and
put it-
why should I be denied
But
to
let me
take
put
part
it-
in a
but let
democratic
me put it,
system?
Do you really want? I mean, we were talking about the apolitical nature
is
of the army.
political?
The
There is
apolitical
nothing known
nature.
as-
No, one sec. The apolitical nature.
why
The
politicians are
apolitical
operating
nature. But do you really want politicians to come to the cantonment and campaign in the cantonment and campaign in the cantonment and drag the armed forces into politics?
The police throughout India are voting and voting at their place of posting. Are they today politicized? They are not.
You've seen police officers touching the feet of
Because the senior most officer of the police department, the police department is listening to the political master. It is the political master who is directing him to do what he wants.
But you know the issue. Let me just put it. Argument is made that if the army begins to vote as Kashmiris or as Nagaland people or as Mizoram people, wherever they may be posted, they may distort the popular will of the area because they're voting.
You can trust that army man to fight for the country there. That you can trust, but you are not trusting him to vote there in that area.
But don't you think? But don't you
what
think?
happens to the family of such officers?
Right.
What happens? I have been an army officer's daughter and army officer's wife. All my life, I have seen 2 years every station. If people ask me, you belong to which part of the country? I always say I'm an Indian first. My question is, you do not let my husband register, and I also don't get registered. As a result of which, all our lives we have moved
But
station
why
to
won't you
station.
vote by proxy? Why don't you vote? Why don't you vote by proxy? Why don't you? If, supposing Brigadier Mahalingam is from Tamil Nadu. If you're posted in Kashmir, why won't you nominate someone to vote as proxy from Tamil Nadu?
My vote is supposed to be confidential. Am I supposed to come and tell you whom I voted for?
Not me, but you can tell the proxy.
Question why? That means that is my that means my voting pattern is known.
Democratic individual right. And why should that be passed on to
So
anyone?
you reject the proxy.
Yes.
Absolutely.
No, I want to ask this question. Who has decided that there are two classes of citizenships in India? Why is it that a soldier has to be a subordinate citizen to a normal citizen? Representation of People Act and the right to vote is a fundamental right to every citizen of India above the age of 18. Where did that get diluted? Who wrote that? Who caused that dilution? come
Well,
up with
you know,
all these
again-
arguments.
No, these are just devil's
No, no, no,
advocate I'm
no, no,
playing.
I-
But the AC also says that there is a system of postal ballot. And sometimes.
It never
and
should
sometimes
change.
postal
Wait,
ballot-
No,
but
Sagarika.
the EC
The
said
postal
that the-
ballot was meant for people posted abroad. It was not meant for
Postal ballot is a farce.
It was never
No,
meant.
postal ballot is a
It has
farce.
never worked. This never. It is absolutely.
Okay.
Simple reason that
I will ask
the
you
gap
one
between the last date of filing and the elections is way too small for any postal system to get the ballot out to the
13
forward area.
days. It's
10 days,
13 days,
11
10 to 13
It's
days.
impossible.
It will
not
not
reach.
reach.
And how will they come back?
Everything I'll
Second
ask you.
point, why should it be done? Just tell me, postal ballot never, if it was functioning, why would we cry? If it was, why were we standing here? It did not work. Proxy not required, which is it's not democratic. Then what is the problem of registering us at the place of posting that constituency? See Sikkim, we rear them. See Ladakh, we rear them. Not to Ladakh is a big city. See Wolong area.
But do you think the local people might have a problem with the
Never
army?
had
The
a
army?
problem.
I mean, what if the
never had
local
a
people,
problem.
where you are, supposing you are stationed in Nagaland,
if the
and the local
Kashmiri-
people there have a problem that the army also is coming and voting for
If the
Nagaland
Kashmiris
people?
can come to Delhi, Bangalore and Bombay, Nagaland people can come to Delhi, Bombay and Bangalore and they can vote there. You mean say that local problem has been exaggerated? No. It does not make any difference. The question is any person wherever
But
he
will
lives.
you identify with those candidates?
Definitely.
Why not?
Definitely.
But
And
how
why
will you?
not?
How will you identify with those
Sagarika,
candidates?
Because my day,
Because you don't belong there.
I'll tell you because my everyday administration depends on the local administration. My everyday, my sabji bhaji comes from the local people. My ration comes from the local people. My electricity comes from the local people.
No, but what if the local environment
I'll
is
answer
not
that.
something?
I'll answer
Supposing you are stationed in
I-
Kashmir,
I-
you
yes.
also happen to be from Kashmir. Supposing you're stationed in Kashmir, and the candidates who are standing in your constituency are giving manifestos with which you have no connection.
Interestingly-
where they're speaking about Kashmir issues, they're speaking about the Kashmir problem, they're speaking about local issues. What connection could you possibly have with that?
Interestingly, in '96, when the J&K assembly elections were held, I was located in J&K and there were 27 polling booths under my jurisdiction. I was supposed to protect those polling booths. Yet, my men and I were not allowed to vote there. Isn't it dichotomous?
This is about the soldier. Now we are talking about the voter and all that. What about my rights? For example, I have nobody representing me in the parliament. Secondly, my requirements are required to be seen by the chief of the services. Now he is a man without any power. He is not even sort of in the decision making process. And in such a situation, where do I go?
Yeah,
No, just
before
give
the
me
exam,
30 seconds.
I asked someone from the EC, and he said, "Well, what if the issue becomes that the chief minister of a state becomes an army officer? Because the armed
Just wait,
forces are
man.
there
So
in
what?
large numbers.
I just
Because
want
the
to
armed
ask you-
forces are there in large numbers, and they all vote for him."
Just listen to me. Just listen to me. No, 1 second. In Delhi, every year 4 lakhs people enter. Where are they voting? I just want to ask you. They are voting in Delhi. Today, what's the strength? When we came long back, what was the strength here? In only lakhs. What's the strength today? In crores. Are they registered here? How many MLAs were there earlier? Now, how many MLAs in Delhi? So wherever I am a democratic citizen in a democratic country
So even
with
if you're in
democratic
Nagaland,
rights.
Nagaland is your home.
Why not?
Same rule that applies to me as a civilian. If I go to Nagaland and I'm allowed to vote and I can register, the same thing must apply to a soldier.
Simple as that.
Because the soldiers are en masse.
No,
Because
no,
they're
everybody
en
is
masse. There's an
Someone
en
said there are
masse.
two en masse.
En masse.
You are seeing
The soldiers are en masse. The whole battalion is there
Another
too.
thing
Several
I'll tell you,
battalions are
another
there.
thing I'll tell
Okay,
you.
let's hold that thought.
Somebody has
Hold
to-
that thought. Hold that thought. We're going to have to take a break. This is a very, very lively discussion about politics and the armed forces. And we're playing devil's advocate and asking, is the politicization of the armed forces a risk when we extend voting rights to the soldier? Wrong question. Back after a break. Welcome back to Open Mic. Is it downright anti-democratic to disenfranchise soldiers, to not allow serving soldiers to vote at election time? It's election time, we're all voting, we're all participating in the festival of democracy, but the soldiers who are guarding our frontiers are not. They are allowed to vote, but they cannot vote because of the logistical problems. Now, the Supreme Court has ordered the EC to make it possible for every soldier to vote. But is it going to happen? The apolitical character of the armed forces is something India is very proud of. The democracy of India is very proud of this apolitical nature of the armed forces. Now, are you as a veteran going to be comfortable if political parties enter the cantonment, if they start their campaigns,
No problem at all because in every
political rallies and a cantonment?
in every cantonment a ground will be identified, the time will be given. In fact, we will teach discipline to the political people there. They will come on a
But
particular
isn't it a great tradition of the Indian Army that the soldier is apolitical?
Oh, there's a mistake. There's a mistake in this. This is the bogus being thrown on us. By voting, I do not become political. This is my fundamental right. Just because I have joined armed forces, nobody can snatch away my fundamental right. I will become political only when I will join a political party, when I will campaign for a political party, when I will campaign for a particular candidate,
might not
which
happen.
I will not do it.
Why will you not do
As long
it?
as I'm in uniform.
Right. What about the local people? Will the local people accept that army people are also voting at the same time?
By doing this, there will be more interaction between the local people and the armed forces personnel. One. Number two, the armed forces personnel will understand the difficulties of the locals. The locals will understand the
But you
difficulties
may be
of
in a
the armed
hostile
forces.
relationship with the locals.
No hostile relationship. Where we are not contesting with them. We are not fighting with them. We are in fact trying to mix with them and trying to understand their problems.
Debate of politicization. I think you have to understand everybody in the army, just like any other citizen, has access to media. They watch CNN, IBN, they read the net. They are all individually aware citizens of the country. Politicization is only when the institution of the army acts as a political catalyst or creates a certain momentum.
Is that a danger though?
That will never
Is that a
happen.
danger?
How?
There is a danger. There is no danger at all.
Is there a danger?
Where is the danger?
Is there a danger that
That will never happen many years ago. Giving a soldier the right to vote is not the same as saying that the army will start influencing democracy. If that had to happen in India, it would have happened 40 years ago.
Just a poser. If what you are saying about politicization, has it happened in the US Army where the voting booths were placed in Afghanistan and Iraq? Has there been any politicization? Has there been politicization in the British Army where in World War II voting booths were placed in Burma? What are we talking about?
What are we talking about? In fact, let's hear a little bit about this bogus bureaucratic mindset you were telling me about. Because I do believe that there is a suspicion of the men in uniform. There's a suspicion of the soldier
I
that
think
they must be
there is
kept completely out of the ambit of
In
the.
my experience with the bureaucracy in India, I have seen bogies and I have seen bogies and I have seen bogies. All of this only to either dilute or defang the uniformed men. I've seen this in one rank, one pension. I've seen this in voting rights. I've seen this when disabled rights are involved. There'll always be these people who'll sit in the shadows and come up
Well,
with
there
these
were fears of an army coup that the former general,
that is all
the former
bogie. That is
general
all
was supposed to
bogie.
have
And that is-
undertaken.
And that is why I've said, come out into the open. If you are such a great protector of democracy sitting in the election commission, come out in the open. Let's have this debate in the Supreme Court or wherever. But why push these papers without allowing people to challenge you? Why are these orders passed in the middle of the night on a Friday evening with nobody to challenge you? And then when somebody challenges you, you say, no, the democracy in Nagaland will be affected. Democracy in J&K will be affected. Give me the evidence.
They're saying that
Show me the
it
proof.
will distort the popular will.
So
it will
says one
distort
man.
the popular
So
vote
says
of
two men.
Nagaland
It is-
or
I am
J&K.
One man versus rest of India.
Yeah, exactly. I am saying, come out here and give me proof. Former election commissioner came up to me when he saw I was getting worked up about this and said, you know what? You don't understand. Democracy will be at risk. Kaise? Kyun? Kahan? Who? Where? What? No answer. But we have to now look at this wise fountain of wisdom, and he has to pontificate and tell us by allowing uniformed men to vote where they are posted,
Where they are
somehow
posted.
the democracy is going to be
Yeah.
Where is the evidence?
That is what they're saying.
I just want to tell you,
Yes, sir.
this bogey that there will be, don't give powers, don't give any powers to the soldiers in any discussion. In one of the discussion, the DG of the IDSA was present. I was present there. He got up and said, don't give powers to the soldiers because what they may take over what has happened to your neighboring country. Is this...
Is that a fear? Is that a paranoia? Is a paranoia of a military takeover?
Amongst politicians that bureaucrats feed. That is
That-
why you have
That the
mysterious...
army is waiting to take
Yeah,
over.
yeah, as if...
The army is
injecting-
waiting. But let me ask you
They
a
are
question.
injecting this belief
Let
in
me
the
ask you a
minds
question.
of the people, which is wrong. And then look at it. Is this the way the country should treat, these bureaucrats should treat?
Is this the way the country should treat the soldier
Yes.
when he comes home? He's not allowed to vote at a time when everybody is allowed to vote. But let me ask you, Brigadier, are you willing to vouchsafe, are you willing to give the viewers an assurance that the Army of India, the armed forces of India today remain and will always remain completely committed to democracy?
Absolutely, the army will be a
Raise your hand.
The army will be a political.
Because our neighborhood, as Rajiv was saying, there's a
We don't take the
paranoia.
wrong
Our
example.
neighborhood has
Right in
shown
front of you,
a different
60
example.
Right in
Sagarika,
front of
the
you,
question is that-
democracy from 1947 till today, has anything happened? Why should it happen today? Let me give you an assurance to the entire country that the politicization or anything wrong for the democracy will never, never, never happen when so long as Indian army is there.
I'll tell you
The Indian
one-
army stands guard over democracy.
Absolutely.
Right.
Armed forces believe very strongly that democracy is the best thing which has happened to this country. And we will do anything to protect it. We will even give our life to protect the democracy. There is no question of going
So
subverting the democracy.
if tomorrow a political party or the head of the political executive turns to the chiefs and said, help me out here, I want you
Oh,
to...
chief will throw him out.
Chief will throw him out?
Definitely.
No way, Sagarika. There's no question. You know,
No
this
question
thing,
about it.
Loyalty is ingrained in our blood. The day I signed on the dotted line, I was told that you are an Indian first and always. There's no. I'm a better Indian than anybody sitting in South Block, or whether it's a politician or bureaucrat.
Right.
Before you deny us the right to vote, please change the Constitution of India.
Right.
Constitution of India says I am a citizen of India first and then anybody else.
Then anybody
This is a
else.
soldier
So I have the right to vote.
Right. Brigadier Mahalingam,
General
General Satbir Singh, Lieutenant Pandey, Comrade Hitendra Singh,
Group Captain
Captain
Gandhi.
Gandhi, Mrs. Gandhi, Colonel Julka.
Mrs.
They have
Julka.
never voted. These are citizens of India who safeguard Indian democracy. They have never voted. Now, thanks to a new Supreme Court order, maybe the armed forces will get a chance to vote. And as they're telling us here, the army stands sentinel on Indian democracy and there are no fears at all of the politicization of the armed forces. Please give the armed forces the right to vote.
And don't
Thank you
throw
very
that
much.
bogey. And don't
Thank you
throw
very
that
much
bogey.
for joining us. Thank you very
As
much
we've
for
been
joining
saying
us.
always, Bharat Mata ki Jai. Bharat Mata ki Jai. Bharat Mata ki
Jai.
Jai Hind. Jai Hind.